Hello, my name is Nell and I have things to say about disability, chronic illness and mental health. These things have all been a part of my life for a very long time and I am passionate about talking about them. I talk about them to show solidarity to other people who also live with these things, but also to reach out to and educate people who don't have lived experience of these issues and to hopefully offer them some understanding, and maybe if they have friends or family members or loved ones who have lived experience of these things and they want to learn more, they can listen and they can start to understand. If that sounds like something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. Come back every Wednesday when I upload new videos. Let me know what you think of my videos in the comments section, and if you know of somebody who would benefit from or enjoy one of my videos, please feel free to share. Today I want to talk about why I do physical exercises when I know it's not going to fix me. I am wheelchair bound. I am wheelchair dependent. I am confined to a wheelchair. I know that these are terms that people don't like, that people aren't comfortable with, and for the most part I would prefer to describe myself as a wheelchair user. But when it comes to my physical limitations, I am dependent on my wheelchair. If I don't have a wheelchair, I can't function. I can't walk. And so the only way of me getting from my bed to the couch is if I have a wheelchair on the travel in between. And I know that no amount of physical therapy is going to get me to walk. That's just a fact. Yet I still do physical therapy. So why do I do it? Why do I do any physical therapy? It's because even though I don't have a whole lot to gain, I still have a hell of a lot to lose. I will not be up and walking around my house again. Most likely. Short of a miracle, I won't be running marathons. However, I still have a fair amount of movement in my legs, and I don't want to lose that. So I do physical therapy to make sure I don't lose that. I do physical therapy to make sure that I don't get further muscle deterioration in my legs. In the early days of my illness, when I was bedbound for quite a long time, I think I spent about 6 months not being able to move at all, and I had severe atrophy in my legs. My leg muscles were just becoming jelly, just jelly legs. And we had to work very hard to rebuild any muscle mass at all. So now we fight to maintain muscle mass. It's almost like you know that you're not really going to get high into the positives. You just need to make sure that you don't dip too far into the negatives. That's the focus there. You just want to keep above zero. That's your focus. And so a lot of the exercises I do with my exercise physiologist aren't focused on what can get me out of the wheelchair, because that's a moot point. That's null and void. It is, what can we do to maintain what I have? What can we do to encourage my muscles to keep the strength that they have, to maintain the movement that I have, to build on what I have as much as possible, but to also understand that a lot of what I do is just holding on to what I have and slowing the long-term deterioration that I will probably face. There could be improvement. There could be. There has been little bits of improvement over the years. I am now able to stand to some degree if I am in certain situations, if I'm in a certain environment where I can lean on something and it's not for very long and all the conditions are right. And that was something that I couldn't really do 5 years ago because of deterioration in my legs. So there is small amounts of improvement that I am able to claw back from the jaws of defeat. And even some of my exercises we work on something with my legs, and it's not to do, the outcome isn't to do with my legs, the outcome is overall body improvement. An overall body improvement for my body to keep having, keep my blood flow going, keep my circulation going. It's not just about my legs, it's not just about my arms, it's a whole body view, it's a whole body approach. That's why I do physiotherapy. So if you are in a position where you know that you are not going to walk again, or you're not going to be able to use a body part again and you think, okay, well, that's it. I don't need to do physiotherapy. I don't need to do that approach. Just know that that's not the only reason for doing physiotherapy. It's not. The big picture goals are not the only reason for doing physiotherapy. I cannot walk and I will not walk again. That's not why I'm doing physio. There are a million other things that I want to keep doing, that I want to maintain, because then in 5 years' time, I don't want to be thinking, oh, well, that thing that I could do 5 years ago, I can't do that anymore. And so I won't do physio to maintain that. I want to be able to maintain what I'm doing as much as possible. That's why I'm doing physiotherapy, to hold on to what I have, not necessarily to get back what I've lost. Because some things I have lost and I won't get them back, and I have to come to terms with that. But there are things that I can still do that I don't want to lose. That's why I do physiotherapy, and that's why I encourage a lot of people with chronic illness and with disabilities and with physical limitations to do exercises, even if they're not prescribed by a doctor. Find things that work on parts of your body that are sleepy, that are slow, that are not used as much as they possibly should be. Get them moving. Maintain them. Don't lose them, please, because you will miss them. That's all for this one. Thank you for watching. Bless.